Hey guys, Joseph here. Time for another installation. Now for today's video, we're going to show you how we installed a Thinkware F200 Pro dashcam into the subcompact SUV, the new 2023 Volkswagen Taos. This video will be useful if you're planning on installing a front and rear dashcam for your car. Some of you may wonder if installing a rear dashcam on a car with a rear liftgate is more complicated than installing one in a sedan, where the rear windows don't move. Tell you what, whether it's a hatchback, crossover, or SUV, installing a rear camera is pretty easy. You just have to add a few extra steps, which we're going to be covering today. The dashcam we're featuring today is the Thinkware F200 Pro. It's pretty simple. This is Thinkware's entry-level dashcam and has been one of our best-selling Full HD dashcams for quite some time. Apart from capturing Full HD in the front and the rear, the F200 Pro is also compatible with the Thinkware Dashcam Link mobile app, where you can live view, share, and download footage. Before we install this Thinkware in the Taos, note that if you don't want to use parking mode, you can use the included cigarette lighter adapter for a simpler installation. But for maximum protection, even when you're away, we always recommend hardwiring your dashcam for 24/7 parking mode monitoring. Plus, it's a much more professional and hidden install. To install, we'd also recommend purchasing the BlackboxMyCar Essential Installation Kit, as it'll contain all the necessary tools you need if you're installing a dashcam yourself for the first time. Now, how do you hardwire? The first step is to locate your car's Fusebox or power source. For this Volkswagen Taos, the fuse panel is located directly beneath the dashboard on the driver's side. Going back to the Fusebox, carefully remove its plastic panel cover. Look for the small nudge located at the bottom of the panel, then pull the cover using the trim tool. What you'll need is the Thinkware hardwiring kit. This consists of 3 wires: constant power, which is the yellow wire, the ACC or accessory for the red wire, and the black grounding cable. If you're confused about which wire is which, you can always read the label that's on the respective cable too. Next, starting off with the ground wire, this C-shaped connector needs to be grounded to an unpainted metal bolt or stud in the vehicle. This should be the first thing you do to protect yourself from shocks or electrocution and allow excess voltage to flow into the earth during a short circuit. Here we're loosening a metal bolt right next to the fuse box with a socket wrench, just enough to slide on the C-shaped head of the grounding cable before tightening the bolt back over top. Next, what you have to do here is take both the red and yellow wires and connect them to their antifuses with the proper fuse taps. While antifuses aren't required, they are quite helpful for an easy install, making it easier to piggyback off of an existing fuse. Next, using your needle nose pliers or a crimping tool, trim off some of the rubber tubing if necessary to expose some bare wire of your hardwiring cable. Insert the hardwiring cable onto the other end of the antifuse, then crimp it down together to make a connection. Using a circuit tester, like the one that comes with the Essential Install package, test out different fuses to determine which would be ideal for each connection type. Look for the ACC and constant fuse. You can easily differentiate these fuse types. If it lights up when pressed with the circuit tester, even when your car ignition is turned off, it's a constant. If it doesn't light up, then it's an ACC. The fuse tap that you choose is dependent on the car, from ATO, Micro 2, Low Profile, and Mini. For this Volkswagen Taos and many European and Volkswagen cars, ATO fuses are needed. We use 20 amp fuse taps and wired to 20 amp fuses. Make sure the fuse tap you're adding is equal to or higher than the existing fuse you're connecting to. Next up, we mounted the F200 Pro's front dashcam. For us, the best place to mount a dashcam is behind the rearview mirror because it conceals the dashcam from the driver's view. The F200 Pro is a great choice if you want a discreet dashcam. Just look at how it blends with the interior of the Taos. Before mounting the dashcam, clean the windshield with Windex from the inside of the car to ensure the camera adheres appropriately. Remove any marks or smears that may impact your footage's video quality too. Now it's time to mount the dashcam. Carefully remove the adhesive from the F200 Pro and mount it in your best angled position. Hold it up there for a couple of seconds and there you have it. Perfect! The F200 Pro is compatible with an external GPS module, which we will also mount here in the front. Aside from providing exact vehicle locations, this accessory enables the F200 Pro's safety features like ADAS and safety camera alerts. To install the external GPS, connect the GPS antenna to the GPS port of the front camera while it is powered off. Then, peel the red adhesive backing off the GPS antenna and then mount it. Now it's time for the wires. Run your power cable from the Fusebox up to the front dash cam. You'll need to route it up to and across the A-pillar, across the headliner, and to the dash cam. The easy part will be taking off the plastic trim of the vehicle and running the cable up the side of your vehicle door to the A-pillar. While this can be done by hand with some easier vehicles, the tight trim of European vehicles means we have to be a bit rougher. So we loosen it up first with the trim removal tool before peeling it off. Working our way up, now we have to cross the A-pillar over to the headliner. With our trusty trim removal tool, we pry at the A-pillar just enough to slide the cable across. Make sure it's not blocking any airbags, either avoiding them or running behind them. From the headliner, it should be smooth sailing over to the camera, and while you can work your way around the stem of the rearview mirror with cable clips, we chose a more professional method. Using the trim removal tool, we loosened the corners of the overhead compartment, prying a sizable section that we could use to run the cables through over to the passenger side. And just like that, we're over at the passenger side. With a single cable clip to help keep the camera in place, the cable runs seamlessly through the frame. Next, we move to the rear camera. You're going to need your rear connecting cable. Plug the rear connecting cable into the front unit, run the cable along the headliner, and straight across the length of the car across the A, B, and C pillar. Now let's mount the rear camera itself. Since this is a hatchback, we're going to need to wire through the grommet connecting the rear hatch to the rest of the vehicle. Start by removing the rear body panel right next to the rear windshield. Using the trim tool and a bit of force, the internal clamps should pop right off, exposing the exit of the connecting grommets. On the main vehicle side, we'll do the same process to make space at the entrance of the connecting grommets. We'll have to run the cable through one of these grommets. Sometimes they can be rather tight, so loosening it with some lubricant is advised. And for this install, we fished the cable through by wrapping a zip tie to the end of the cable. This allowed us to pull the cable out to the other end. Now, if you have some excess slack or excess cabling in your rear cable, now's the time to loop it through the rear roof of the car, storing it up between the frame and the headliner. Next, install the rear camera in place of the windshield. Just make sure it's centered. And note that it should not be installed with the rear defroster lines blocking its view. We recommend using the in-app live view of the camera to make sure the rear view is clear as can be. We bundled up the excess cabling using electrical tape and tucked it away, then closed everything up. Beyond that, make sure everything is nicely hidden and tucked away, and close up the side panels to the Fusebox. So there you have it. The F200 Pro is ready to give this Volkswagen Taos the dashcam protection it needs, front and rear. If you're interested in getting an F200 Pro, do let us know. This dashcam is also available in front-only and front interior configurations. It's so flexible that it's also compatible with the Thinkware multiplexer box that can transform your setup into 5 channels. If you want to learn more, we'll include all the products we mentioned in the description below. Now, having this dual channel installed can be a breeze if you're down with going a little technical. But if you need help from our professional installers, our team at BlackboxMyCar will be happy to help. If you're in the Richmond area, give us a call to schedule an appointment. Mention this YouTube video and we'll give you 15% off your next install. Support us by hitting that like and subscribe button to our channel to get the latest updates and news on BlackboxMyCar. Thanks for watching.